subscribe.
Hey everybody, Russell NV here. I'm bringing you another episode. I want to show you how to find the floor price of any city in Upland. So what do I mean by floor price? We're talking about the bottom. What is the cheapest price in UPX or USD that you can pay for a property in Upland? You're going to be on Twitter or Reddit, Discord, some kind of social media. And if there's any kind of conversation going on, at some point, you're going to see a reference to the floor. And someone's going to say, yeah, but the floor in Chicago is X amount of UPX. In your head, you need to be thinking cheapest. The floor, the bottom, the lowest price. It's all relevant. It's all good. I want to show you how to find that. We're going to go over how to do that in game. And then we have 3 different tools, websites that you can use to analyze some data. It's going to be great. Let's dive into it. Of course, please come over here, follow me on Twitter, Russell, ENVY. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's dive into Upland. So this is the view that we're all used to when you log in. I'm obviously on my desktop recording this, but you can see that I'm in San Francisco. I'm directly in the middle, or I'm on my middle property here. But this is the view that we always see, and I bet I'm not the only one who's ever said, I wonder what the cheapest property in San Francisco costs. And there's plenty of ways to figure that out. And the first way we're going to talk about is in-game. There's pros and cons to the in-game tool. But so, here we're looking at my screen in the bottom right-hand corner. Follow my mouse all the way down. Bottom right-hand corner. You have these 3 dots here. And if you look at the second dot, this is a building. So what this is going to do is this is going to pull the prices for all of the properties, but it includes everything that's in my browser view here. So you can see that I have San Francisco and Oakland in my view. So if I were to only want San Francisco to show me the lowest price, I would actually have to move my map over this way, and I would have to cut Oakland out altogether. Or, we can do it a little bit differently just to change the view a little bit, but still, you got to cut Oakland out. If not, if both cities are in the view, let's go ahead and hit our property, and you'll see that it shows the cheapest property is actually in, it's in Berkeley right now. And this says for $12. So obviously Oakland's going to be cheaper than San Francisco. That's the way it is also in real life. So if you wanted to only find out San Francisco, again, like I said, you got to cut it out here. And then now you can hit the property button. No properties nearby. Let's try again. All right, so now this shows you only San Francisco properties, and the floor here, the cheapest property in game, shows you $39.90. So, now when you start referencing the floor, you can say as of, this recording, or you can go look at your game right now, do this real time, follow along, and you can positively say, the floor in San Francisco is $39 USD. And you know what you're talking about. You know what you're trying to, the message that you're trying to portray, which is pretty cool. So let's take a look here, see if we can find some UPX. That's one of the shortcomings of this tool, is that it shows you USD and UPX, and you can't filter by either one. So you do have to scroll a little bit here. Here's the cheapest one right here. 44,444 is the floor, the cheapest property when it comes to UPX. So you can see 39.9 USD or 44,444 UPX. So there's the floor. So this really brings $44.44. in UPX, or you can do $39 USD. So depending on the price, the property, you might be getting a better deal in USD because it is cheaper when you look at the UPX average. So, or what it would cost in UPX. But this is the in-game version. The other shortcoming to this too is you can't just filter by, like, let's say you wanted to just do mission here. You'd have to zoom in and make sure that only mission properties are being shown. Even here, it's now considering Mission Dolores and whatever, Showplace Square. So if I bring up these prices, there's a good chance that this is in Mission. It's in Sharon, but it looks like it was over here. Sharon Street is actually right there. So the cheapest property, I'm not even looking at Mission. I'm actually looking over here in Mission Dolores, or over here in the Triangle. So I'm not really sure, but it's really hard when you're trying to, like, let's say Showplace Square. You got to zoom in. Now you can find the floor, but there's only, you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 7 properties. And the cheapest is $444,444. That's $444. That's a lot of money right there. Very, very rich neighborhood. But you can see, here's how in-game you find the floor. Next, number 2, we have the Upland.me website. This is under community as of right now, and it is it doesn't show because we got to go to a different page. Now we go to community, go to marketplace analytics. As of right now, go to upland.me/marketplace-analytics. The links, all of these will be in the description below, but you can see what's really cool about this tool is that this shows you a different view. When we're looking at Upland all day and you're in game, this is what you're looking at, and you're going to properties, you're looking at cards, right? Like you're drilling down and maybe you want to buy this property. You're looking at this view, you're looking at the boosted earnings and stuff. But what's really cool about the analytics is this shows you the overall activity, the volume that we're doing. So this does update every 24 hours. It tells you right here between the hours of 4 and 5 p.m. Pacific time. And that this data may be incomplete, which is very interesting. But you can see for the last 30 days, the UPX transaction volume was 7,088,825,832 UPX. Very interesting. It also shows you these charts, and I like to maybe use this for sale properties. I think the shortcoming of this tool is that a lot of this data here is incorrect. Technically speaking, if we're looking at this unminted properties, we're looking at FSA properties in any city, in any neighborhood, in any collection for almost any mint price. And it shows us what the average price is, what the lowest price is. But you can see that this is, showing somebody that this FSA, looks to be true. But if we were to grab this and let's go into the game, we'll hit search, and we want to look for this place, Staten Island. That's exactly where we were. Zoom out, zoom in, and I guarantee that this is not an FSA, and it's already in somebody's possession. There it is. It is in somebody's possession, whoever this individual is. But so if you're looking at this analytics page, this marketplace analytics, you can see that it does say FSA true. So it is an FSA property, but it's not for mint. It's not for sale. It can be a little confusing. Then you can even look for sale property. But now for sale property, you can't sort by FSA. So it's a little confusing, especially when you start getting into like owned properties and stuff. But I like using the marketplace analytics. I like looking at the 30-day, 90-day average. I like moving these around, and I like looking at these, the transaction volume. I like seeing the peak hours or the dates and times and stuff. I'm kind of a nerd that way. But upland.me/marketplace analytics. This is another place if you don't want to do the in-game way of using the property, right? You can come to the marketplace analytics. All right, so let's talk about the next tool. So you have in-game, we have the marketplace analytics on upland.me. Next, this is a website that is called upxland.me. upxland.me, link is down in the description. So this is the homepage. This is basically a news, short little detail section. But for UPXland, what I really like about this, number one, is the username up here. So I can actually type in my in-game name and bring this up. And this is actually going to show you my live stats, which is pretty cool. So we're actually going to use this because we might want to sell a couple properties today. So we want to figure out how much we paid, and we want to figure out, are we going to make money by listing it? What's the floor where we're at? So upxland.me, this is really great because it gives you your own view, and then you can go and look for properties. So over here on the menu, left-hand side of the screen, click on properties and go to property search. So this is a great view, and we're going to look for property in Chicago. We don't care the neighborhood, don't care about the collection. We want to search only for UPX. We don't care if it's FSA, non-FSA, and we want to sort by the sale price. And we want to see the lowest, so we'll start with ascending, and we're going to hit search. So this is how you find the floor in upxland.me. You do city, and then you can even drill down neighborhood and collection. First sale, do you want to do dollars? Do you want to do UPX? Do you want to do locked, unlocked properties? So we're looking for sale. Don't care what the options are, and we want to sort it by the sale price. So we can see here, all of Chicago, the floor price is 8,500 UPX. Very interesting. If we go look at Kansas City, same parameters, just different city name here. The floor price in Kansas City is 9,700. Very interesting, considering Kansas City is not a tier 1 city and Chicago is a tier 1 city. So it looks like right now, if you were looking to buy property, I would go buy a cheaper property in Chicago, and Chicago is more likely to sell. Technically speaking, at the time of this video, you'll probably sell your Chicago more than you'll sell your Kansas. Kansas is kind of considered a ghost town right now. I think business will pick up. I'm actually buying in Kansas City, and that's one of the things that I'm doing is I'm trying to find the cheapest property. So I can go to Kansas City, and I want to try to find a collection. So we'll say like Foxtown East, and we'll go ahead and hit search. And you can actually see I have a couple properties here for sale. So one of the things I did, I bought this property for 75,000 UPX, and I have it on sale for 144,444. I do like the four numbers, that's for sure. But I can see that the floor for this is 123. So I'm actually a little bit above that, which is, cool. It's decently priced. I'm within my UP2 range as everybody else. I'm offering just as good as deal, and maybe, for whatever reason, they like this address better than they like this address. Who knows? For whatever reason, but at least I put my properties in the game here, and you can even, in the game of being considered for purchase. So we can even look at 50 properties, and you can sort all this too. You can do, let's look by UP2. Wow, look at this. Someone's got a huge property in Kansas City for sale. Let's go take a look at this property. Let's go zoom out. This is a lot of money. Elmwood, zoom out, and here. This is Foxtown East. It's in this upper corner. I bet you it's this whole slab of land. Wow, look at this. This is for sale. This is for $5 million. So basically $5,350 in the game. That you want $5,350. That's an insane amount for that property, but it is a collection. But you can see, you can sort, and you can say the ceiling, the floor is going to be the cheapest. So the ceiling, the highest, 5 million UPIX, crazy. But you can search by UP2, you can search by mint price. So maybe you want to search by markup. Maybe you want to pay the lowest. It looks like the cheapest markup is 450%, and that's on that big property. So if you're buying by markup, I probably wouldn't suggest that, but this would be your best deal. So you can actually kind of see some really good data here. So this is how you find it over here on UPX land. You have a user search, a property search, and then, we can drill down. Let's get into a neighborhood like Portage Park. I have a lot of property in Portage Park. We're in Kansas right now. Let's zoom out. I don't want to be in Kansas anymore, Toto. Portage Park, I've got properties up here. I've got 75, 74 in Portage Park, something like that. So we can see, here's the area of Portage Park. I want to figure out what the floor is because maybe I want to sell a couple of these, right? So let's go to my name. Let's click here, and then we can actually search, I think, just type in Portage, and it actually brings up all of my properties. So let's just sort by 200, and it brings up all my properties only in Portage Park, which is cool. And then let's buy, I minted everything in Portage Park. I haven't bought everything. So my cheapest right here is 4,300. So my cheapest is 4,300. My most expensive is going to be 20,660. Okay. But so let's go back to property search. We're going to go Chicago, Portage Park, and we're going to do UPX and by sale price. Let's hit search. So the floor in here as of right now in Portage Park, Chicago, Illinois, 14,400. So I bought mine for 4,000 UPIX, which is great. So basically that's a huge insane 14,600. So we'll go like this, bring it here, Portage, mint price. So 14,600, divide that by 4,300. So that would be, right now, if I sold it for that price, it'd be a 3.3 gain. I would multiply my money 3.3. That's not bad. That's a pretty good earning, I'm not going to lie. But I think Portage Park, I think the floor can be much higher than 14,000. So at this time, I'm not going to list any of those properties. But this is a great tool, right? You go to Chicago, pick whatever you want. Maybe you do Loop. This is a collection, not by mint price. We want to do sale price, and we want to do UPX. Check this out. You can see the cheapest here is 444 for the Loop. Those numbers, those fours are popping up everywhere, let me tell you. But so you can see for this collection, you can see what the floor is for the collection. You can find out the floor for the neighborhood or for the entire city. You can even sort by the mint price, which is cool, which gives you like this whole different look. But this is pretty cool. Some great stuff, UPX land. All right, and the last tool that we're going to show, this is called up2-datahub.com. up2-datahub.com. Again, link in the description. This is really cool because this shows you, again, we're looking at marketplace analytics. You can see this daily trend. When we look at the property search, you really have to start plugging things away here on UPX land before you see data. When you come to up2-datahub.com, this shows you when the page loads, you can see the floor for every city. So, we were just looking at Chicago, $8,500 for the floor. How about Kansas? $9,900. This looks to be in tail with what we saw for UPX land. So it looks like, both of these websites are correct. Obviously, the in-game is going to be correct as well. But again, you can't get very granular. You can't filter data in the in-game tool. So we want to use these third-party tools. So this is kind of cool because you can see the number of minted properties. You can see the floor. So we can actually drill into Chicago. And so if we go in here, we can go Chicago for sale for UPX and by sale price. And so we can see that the cheapest property, $84.75. Wow, this just updated in about a matter of minutes. And this is in a neighborhood called Calumet Heights. Let's go ahead and refresh here. Let's bring in, we didn't need to refresh, it already updated. So, wow, somebody's already at 7,000. Let's hit here. What's another property at 7,000? Very interesting. So let's clear the cache. Let's see if this comes up. Does not come up for 7,000. So why does Chicago say 7,000? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit 7 like this, and we're going to try to find it. It says the floor is 7,000. Where is it though? Oh, it's going to have to be like this. So there's one. There it is. So West Pullman, it looks to be the cheapest area right here. So you can see the floor in Chicago, it says right here 7,000 UPX, but we also wanted to see what neighborhood it's in. UPX land is not, there it is. Well, this is showing us 84.75. So it looks like these two tools, they're both showing right data, but which one is right, you really have to figure that out. But so you can see, UP2 data hub here, which is really cool. You can sort by cities. Click up here to go back to the home page, and you can see the floor for everything. But the real cool part to this website, Marketplace Analytics and UPX Land do not have this feature, and you can actually sort by buildings. This is a very cool tool. So you can sort by all cities, and maybe you only want to see by UPX. So let's go ahead and hit submit. And then you can see the prices are all jumbled up. So let's go ahead and click price. And this is going to show you the cheapest property in all of Upland. It's in Kansas in a neighborhood called Gladstone. And it's for sale for $39,999. So if we actually go grab this street, it's in Kansas. Let's go like this, hit here, and we put in Kansas. There we go, Kansas City, Missouri. Let's let this fly out. Here's that property right here. And we can actually see that, yep, there's that building. Interesting that they chose to face the door where they did, but technically speaking, this is a very good deal, even though this building is on this property backwards. And what I mean by that is you can figure out the floor. This shows you that this is $39,990. So we know that this small townhouse, it costs 950 spark hours. So if you take 950 spark hours and you divide that by 24 hours in a day, we get 39.5 days that it took to build this small townhouse. It took 39.5 spark hours. That's what we needed, 39.5 spark hours. So you can actually take this. So let's do this. So let's say you need this paste. So let's go down to here. And so you need this many hours times, and it's, let's just say you're paying 1,000 UPX. So you're going to pay 39,500. So you can see that this is pretty much on pace with what what that house should cost, but this is what a building should cost. We did the spark hours to build the building. We're doing the raw materials. Now, I was shown this by another video. We have a link to it in the upper right hand corner here. It goes to a video from our friend Radish Head, who shows us how to find the raw average price of what a building costs. That's basically the math that I just did for you. So we did 950 spark hours divided by 24 hours in a day gives us 39.5 spark hours. And then if we take that many hours, right, like this, and then we times it by how much it costs. The going rate right now is 1,000 UPX for each spark. We know that that should cost 39,580. This one is right here. This is great. So these are all pretty good deals, and you can see, sometimes like this ranch house might be more, or even you can't sort by building, but you can even look for an apartment building. Obviously, it's not going to be filtered by the price. Maybe let's sort it around. The biggest price. Obviously, it's going to be an apartment built. Oh wow, this is unreal data here. This is too high of numbers. There we go. This is actually 55 million. I guess these are all people who don't want to sell these because these are all astronomical, unless they're really worth that. Who knows? But sorting by buildings is a really cool tool. So we went through the in-game tool, this little property here, and you can sort here. We're looking at Kansas City. We obviously see the floor in this view is 9999. The marketplace analytics, we see some really cool things here. Not really useful data unless you start picking through it. Maybe you can find some stuff. I don't really look at this page too much. I'm usually over here on UPX land. I think it's a little bit quicker in terms of like search and the pace of the website. It's also in my browser history a lot, so I have a lot of these things already saved. As far as like my floor price for Chicago, so when it comes here and when you do all this good stuff, so here's how you find the floor in Chicago, and when you hit search, I actually have this whole URL saved somewhere. It's in my bookmarks. I have my bookmarks hidden, but so I can actually just say, hey, like I want to see this in real time. I can click my bookmark and I can get to this page whenever I want. So I'm over here a lot, but UP2 Data Hub, I'm starting to use this more and more often, especially because I can see the entire Upland Metaverse, that I can kind of get a really good view of just like what's the floor in each city, USD versus UPX, and then maybe if I want to go, get a little bit more granular, I can start going through. What I don't like is it just starts showing you different neighborhoods, but I do like the collections. This does show you some really cool things, so you can actually go find the floor for each collection, which is pretty cool. So you can see the price. So this is for this Carmita Avenue. So wow, look at the price, $249 or 270,000 UPX. So the floor $249 versus 270. So that would be $270 versus 249. It's actually cheaper to buy this in USD than it would be in UPX, but not by much. Maybe you don't want to put the money in USD and you actually have it. City Runners got one here for $350. Pretty good friend of mine. Also another Portage Park player. K Twice hooked me up with some UPX money for the Halloween parade. That was pretty cool. All of these tools, though, in conclusion here, summing this up, finding the floor in Upland is literally finding the cheapest price in wherever it is you want to look. You can do it in game. You can do it third-party website through analytics or UPX Land or UP2 Data Hub. There's also a Discord server that is called the Upland Optimizer, where you can find all of this data as well, which a lot of people do that because they're in Discord or so much that it's actually easier to do that than maybe to use some of these tools. But at the end of the day, finding the floor, there's multiple ways to do it. I hope this is maybe opened your eyes to a different view of Upland. I think some of us get landlocked in our view, and what I mean by that is you can see that, this is what we look at every day, whether we're treasure hunting or maybe we're trying to collect sends, but this is the view that we're always looking at. But experienced players, or if you're sitting there thinking like, how can I make more money, start learning these tools, especially upxland.me, and getting over to the properties. Again, we can do it one last time. Properties, San Francisco, doesn't matter, neighborhood collection. We want to do UPX, and we want to sort by the sell price. So you can just start seeing, like the floor here, this is 4,200. So DJ Shorts just listed this for 4,200. You could buy this, turn around and sell it for 44, and you're actually making a profit. Now, if you bought all of those, the next price would go to 45. So you can see that, this might be a really good deal. 42, we're maybe never going to see that price again, because you can see it's only going to go up. I think over the next 3 weeks from when this video came out, it's January 18th, 2022. I think that we're going to see the cheapest price in San Francisco. I think we're going to see 60, 70,000 come mid 2022. I think Chicago, I think it's ridiculous that a tier 1 city, the floor is sitting at $84.75. About a week ago, before the announcement that Los Angeles is coming to the metaverse of Upland, the price was sitting at $9,200. So it basically fell $1,000 with just an announcement, because so many people are trying to sell these properties, to up and coming players. There's a lot of people that want to get going. They want to start making money. They're not going to wait for LA because that's 2-3 weeks away. They're going to start buying now. They might be jumping at some of these prices, especially if you minted something for 3-4K and you're selling it for double. Why not take advantage? Go double your money in Chicago. If you put 250,000 UPX into Chicago, you could pull out 500,000 UPX if you just doubled everything that you have. That's a great deal. Now you'd have 500,000 UPX to go into LA, and you could buy one property basically. I think LA is going to be, especially for collection properties or any property of renown, I think we're going to see ridiculous prices like we see in in New York. But that's to be expected. But, for the term of this video, finding the floor in-game, different websites, there's plenty of ways to do it. Hopefully I've brought in some insight. You now see the game differently. Any questions that you have, please go ahead, drop a comment below. Find me on Discord. Find me on Twitter, RussellNV over here on Twitter. Have a great one.
Subscribe.